There have been celebrations in India as the country passes a major vaccine milestone. More than 1 billion COVID-19 shots have been administered, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called it a triumph of Indian science. But the vaccination campaign still faces major hurdles.
Celebrations as India reaches a pandemic milestone. After a slow start at the beginning of the year, 3/4 of its almost 1 billion adults have received one shot of a COVID-19 vaccine, a feat being celebrated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ruling party.
आज हम ये सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं कि हमारे देश में 100 करोड़ वैक्सीनेशन पूरी हो चुकी है। इसलिए हम अपने दिल से मोदी जी को धन्यवाद कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये उन्हीं के ही कर कमलों के कारण हम यहाँ तक पहुँच पाए हैं।
But the numbers don't quite tell the whole story. Double dose rates are still low, and many people in rural areas have not been vaccinated. Nearly 90% of the vaccines have come from the Serum Institute of India, which produces a licensed version of AstraZeneca's vaccine. India aims to fully vaccinate its entire population by the end of the year. But experts say that target is far off.
There is a certain degree of apathy, as well as the feeling that the worst has passed and there is no further risk. So many people are not really going in for the second dose straight away.
More than 200,000 people died in India's devastating second wave of COVID-19 in the middle of the year. Cases have fallen sharply since. Fewer than 20,000 infections are reported each day.
Ishan Garg joins us live now from New Delhi. Ishan, 1 billion doses, but there remain huge disparities to administering those jabs across India.
Absolutely. It's a big feat in itself, but given the size of this country and the population that resides here, there are still some gaping holes, particularly as more than 1 billion shots have been administered. There are many people who are skipping their second dose, as the expert just pointed out. Now, even the head of the Serum Institute of India is saying that they are seeing this pattern that a lot of their people who have taken their first dose have skipped their second dose, and experts say that this is down to a pattern, especially in rural areas where people are being incentivized to take the first dose, but for the second dose, they really have no incentive. And to make matters worse, there are problems in terms of people having to reach the inoculation centers, which are far off. There are certain hospitals which are not stocking up properly on these vaccines, and all of these factors are making it difficult for people to take their second dose. Now, there are several experts who have also pointed out that there are disparities in terms of who have got these vaccines. If one looks at women in lower income groups in the countries, they have received fewer vaccines than the men in the same group. And experts are also saying that when one looks at the numbers, there is still a big gaping hole that India still hasn't started filling, which is vaccinating people below the age of 18. There are a couple of vaccines in advanced stages of trial that could be used to fill that hole. But until then, experts say that the government needs to make sure that COVID-appropriate behavior is followed, because vaccine coverage is not still at the ultimate level.
Well, at the same time, Ishan, India does have an ambitious inoculation goal. Does it have any chance, though, of hitting its end-of-year target of vaccinating all adults?
Well, Dawn, it's October and India has administered 1 billion doses. And if it needs to vaccinate all adults by the end of the year, it will need to administer 800 more million doses. That's almost as much as it's already inoculated in the past 9 months. To hit the same target in 2 months, it's going to take quite an effort. And that's why experts are saying that it might really be unlikely that India is going to hit that target. But the government said in a Supreme Court filing that it does not actually want to, it does not mean to say that all eligible adults will have 2 doses by the end of the year, but at least a significant portion of them will have that. And it's advisable to keep in mind, according to experts, that there are no supply issues at this moment. And even still, companies like Serum Institute of India are going to ramp up their production, so there won't be a shortage of vaccine. The challenge now will be to curb some of the misinformation that's around vaccine, to curb some of the vaccine hesitancy, especially among the lower income groups and in villages. And that's a task that the government has to tackle head on in the months going forward.
All right, Ishan, thank you very much for that update. Ishan Garg there in New Delhi.